Hello YouTube, I am the Gaming Pegasus 187, and this is Side Scroller Sunday episode number 6. Playing Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. I will be getting numbers 5 and 6 in this video, with episode 7 being the big finale. Now, I had this video fully rendered. Took almost 2 hours. I decided to check and basically make sure the audio was leveled right, kind of listening to part of it, and I noticed a really weird audio hiccup because my recording software liked to freeze. Actually, not recording software, my editing software. Thank you, Sony Vegas. Because you can record audio right into the timeline, but if it freezes, it completely stops. So if all of a sudden I'm talking about something, and all of a sudden it just stops, and it goes on, I go on to something else. By the time I notice, I don't fucking realize it. So yeah. So now I'm basically re-recording the video. Gotta love modern technology, and it's gonna take another 2 hours to render. It's probably going to be another hour to upload. So by the time this is up, it's going to probably be 6 or 7 in the morning my time. Yes. My sleep schedule has been really weird lately. I'm been a bit of an... well, not really insomniac, it's just that I'm up all night and I sleep part of the day. Yeah. Up till like 6 AM and then I sleep till 2 in the afternoon and... yeah. Anyway, enough about my personal life. There's a lot to get to with this episode. Besides the fact that my, this game is really interesting, because the first, main chunk of it isn't that bad. It's basically like tearing through a wet paper towel if you really know what you're doing. But then, all of a sudden, the game decides to replace that wet paper towel with a brick wall. Wario's Castle. There are no checkpoints. If you die, you gotta start all the way back at the beginning of the castle. They throw every fucking thing at you. It's insane. I died probably around 20 to 30 times, and that's no fucking joke. I got a couple of game overs. So if I need to pad out the video, I might just throw in a random collection of me dying. And a couple of those deaths shouldn't even have fucking happened, because my recording software that I use decides to randomly freeze. Well, literally randomly just fucking hiccup, and all of a sudden the game will still be going, but I can't see it off my computer, so I run smack dab into a Goomba or something. I need to get a new computer. But anyway, Battleground just happened. Cena wins. LOL, of course. Paul Heyman tweeted that he was on a plane to go pick up Plan C, which is going to be Plan Conqueror, as in the Conqueror Brock Lesnar, as in the man who conquered the streak. Because if this would be a fucking Vince Russo swerve right here. If, for whatever reason, they decide to pull the old Super Cena wins LOL, you will have completely delegitimized the fact that Brock Lesnar conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. There is no reason. I don't care. There is no reason for Brock to lose to Cena. Cena shouldn't even be champion right now if it wasn't for Daniel Bryan getting hurt, and he's going to be out for the next year. Cena would not be champion. This was your base that they had to throw something together quick, and it had to be Cena. Because who was the top face, right, under Bryan? Cena. Anyway, the pay-per-view really wasn't, that memorable. The Wyatts and Usos had a really good 2 out of 3 falls match for the belts, and Usos win. I wouldn't have gone in that direction. I would have had the Wyatts win. I would have had, the Usos get a rematch, and then something happened, and then if they're going to tease a split, and they're actually going to split them up, or you keep them together and you have the Wyatts start coming up against other teams. I mean, who else do they have? Stardust and Goldust? By the way, that pretty much, it's a complete rarity if when Goldust is tag teaming with someone and he's the normal one. So, anyway, yeah. AJ vs. Paige came on right after this. Quick pre-show notes, actually. Fandango versus Adam Rose. Layla and Summer Rae were with the Exotic Express. Why? Because they both, basically, Layla replaced Summer Rae as Fandango's backup dancer. He was two-timing her, Layla, so they both teamed up and dumped him. So all of a sudden we have Adam Rose on the Battleground pre-show. JBL still hates the bunny. Someone book that massacre, please. So, this was a short match. Adam Rose wins. Okay, and Fandango, and he gets Layla and Summer Rae. Lucky bastard. Anyway, I gotta quit doing that. So, the other match on the pre-show, and thank God this is on the pre-show and not being after the Divas title match. Naomi versus Cameron. First of all, no, I have never really given a shit about the Funkadactyls. I didn't give a whole lot of... I didn't even really care about Brodus Clay to begin with, and in the fact that they kept him in the stupid comedy gimmick. They were building this up for weeks, a couple years ago, that Brodus Clay's coming back, and he's going to be this big monster heel wrecking everybody's shit. We got a fatter version of Ernest the Cat Miller. Same goddamn music, too. Same music. So all of a sudden they bring Tensai back, and he's supposed to use... They build him, there's Albert, Prince Albert, fucking A-Train. It's like this former WWE superstar that went to Japan for a few years and now is back. And he had, he didn't say anything. He was quiet. He just came in, wrecked people, and left. They teamed him with Brodus. They became Tons of Funk. They put Naomi and Cameron with them. Brodus gets released. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. Oh wait, Albert's doing commentary on the NXT occasionally. So they still have the Funkadactyls around. They split them up. Using this tensions that were built on Total Divas, and that's a paraphrase from Michael Cole. I don't watch Total Divas. I don't fucking care about the Divas to begin with. Or the ones I do care about are actually not on the show. And I just hit my mic. AJ and Paige are the only two, or you have Natalia. There's only 3 Divas that I actually care about. I would actually watch because they're actually good in the damn ring. They actually know what the fuck they're doing. But who is it all on Total Divas? The Bellas. And they're back. Why? Because one got a boob job, is now fucking Fruity Pebbles, and is now fucking Fruity Pebbles. The other is fucking Daniel Bryan. You have, let's see, Summer Rae was on there. You had Eva Marie, who can't wrestle worth shit. The only reason she even got this job to begin with is she spent a lot of time bent over the Dudley Boys' favorite weapon and spent more time on her knees than Miley Cyrus on a Friday night. Yeah. I doubt the kiddies who you're catering to now in your PG product really watch something on E that is the equivalent of the Kardashians. And that's a scripted bullshit so-called reality show. It's not reality. It's so stupid. I wanna... Fuck. Anyway, we are, almost 10 minutes into this video. And I've been bitching about the Divas for like 5 minutes. So, Cameron wins. Nobody cared. So you had, we're supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Didn't get that. Ambrose attacked Seth Rollins during an interview. Got thrown out of the building by Triple H. Rollins would come out later and get announced the winner by forfeit. Ambrose would pop out of nowhere. They would brawl all over the arena, get slammed into the Spanish announce table. which apparently can't even go one show without getting someone slammed onto it or into it or whatever. So yeah, and then later on, Rollins was leaving the building, and Ambrose popped out of the trunk, so apparently, Seth Rollins, you need to lock your trunk. And where were these security guys? I guess they're only paid for the inside of the arena. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna get this, more than likely gonna get this match at SummerSlam. And throw in some kind of, make it a Street Fight or something. I want to see these guys just a brawl. So, yeah. You had Rusev versus Swagger. Rusev wins by countout. So I think they're setting up a feud between these guys. So it's basically, you know, it's fucking Rocky IV all over again. You have Zeb Coulter start to talk, get slapped by Lana, that's how the match starts. I think more people were staring at Lana's ass than they were at the actual match, but I don't blame them. I posted a picture on my Instagram for Money in the Bank. There's this guy holding this sign, this guy looking, that was like right behind Lana, when there was camera shot of Lana, and it's looking like right down towards her ass. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah. So you have a countout win because Rusev's able to get in the ring first after both their heads got slammed into the ring post. I didn't quite catch it. AJ Page, AJ wins, which was a okay match. It could be better. But did not see AJ, you know, all of a sudden losing the title 3 weeks after winning it. That would be a fucking Vince Russo swerve move. Oh, man. And, of course, the Intercontinental title Battle Royale, because Wade Barrett is hurt. He is going to be out for a few months. He came out, he cut a wonderful promo. I hope he stays on TV, he comes up every week or two and just cuts promos. That's all you need him to do. Just have him come out, cut a promo. Wade Barrett's one of those guys that when he talks, you shut the fuck up and listen. So this Intercontinental title Battle Royale featured The Miz, Sheamus, who's the U.S. champion. Unless they're going to unify the belts, I don't know why he was even in it. He could have been defending the title. It's getting to the point where he's defending it as much as Dean Ambrose. You had Damian Sandow dressed up as some beach bum because he's been buried. Yeah. What people saw on TV when Sandow cashed in Money in the Bank and lost to Super Cena was Sandow getting the FU, and no, I will not call it the Attitude Adjustment. Lex Luger's pile driver was called the Attitude Adjustment. Anyway. This was one of those, just really insane matches. You know, Battle Royale, it's weird, you know, having a title up for grabs in that type of match. Well, it's been vacant, so yeah. You had Zack Ryder making a rare TV appearance. Obviously, he lost. You had, who else is in this? Dolph Ziggler, who everyone wanted to win, didn't. You had Bo Dallas, you had, what's his name? Goddamn it. NXT, the former consecrated. I can't even think of his fucking name now. Xavier Woods. Fuck. It's kind of like, only highlights I could, you know, too bad Bo Dallas didn't win. That would've been awesome. You had Kofi Kingston in there, Big E Langston. You know, Kofi had one of his miracle saves. He actually got thrown out, landed on Big E's shoulders, who put him back on the apron. You had the King of Swing, Cesaro, who didn't win. Oh yeah, it's not like he hasn't won any Battles Royales before, except for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale WrestleMania 30. And to get eliminated by all people, to eliminate the King of Swing, Heath Slater, who came out to the 3MB music. So did they not give him new music? Did they not have his old music on file? Are they giving him new music? Are they forming a new 3MB? I hope not. Why they released Drew McIntyre, I don't fucking know. So, yeah, that was winner Miz, who pulled Jerry Lawler and hit out under the ring. Who hit out outside the ring for most of the match. It came in, eliminated Ziggler right at the end. And everyone guys should, be jealous of Miz because he is fucking Maurice. He married her. And of course, Cena wins, LOL, which is not a shock. There's nothing else to say. Pretty much all we know is it's going to be the Fruity Pebbles versus the Conqueror of the Streak. And if that bowl of Fruity Pebbles does not get conquered, the IWC is going to be in a fucking rage. Anyway. But, yeah. Like I said, there's no reason. There's no fucking reason for Brock to lose to Cena. You will completely ruin the legitimacy of Brock Lesnar conquering the streak. He's supposed to stick around for Night of Champions. So who knows what they're going to do. They could have a rematch at Night of Champions, Cena wins, and then you have Rollins cash in. You could have Rollins cash in right after Brock wins the title. I don't know. Yeah. So let's get on to our LOL TNA moment or a couple moments of the week that I can get through here because I'm already at 17 minutes. This is going to go about another 14, roughly. Pissed I have to re-record this because I had some good shit I was talking about. Hardcore Justice. One of many examples, and this is probably the big shining moment of ADSC with Dixie Carter. Because she really doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. It's all about her getting her daddy's money to buy more wrestlers. This point, Hulk Hogan was in the company. I'm gonna, preemphasize by saying that. So around the time Hardcore Justice was, it's 2010. It was getting, they were getting to it. Paul Heyman was in talks with TNA joining with, Paul Heyman was in talks with TNA to join the company. However, he wanted full control of the company aspects and wanted to get rid of all the veterans aside from one guy to stand out. If you're over 40, I'll rip your fucking head off. While building a younger and talented roster. Which is what they should be doing. They shouldn't be focused on trying to pull a WCW and just buy all these, big names. They need to be building their own guys. So, pretty much everyone was for this TNA, Spike TV. But Dixie Carter was not because of her loyalty to these veterans as well as people who will be fired such as Vince Russo. And of course the deal fell apart and TNA continue to go backwards instead of forwards. I haven't noticed this freeze up yet, so I think I'm good. I'll listen to it again to make sure. Anyway, Heyman later let slip that he would have tried to steal Daniel Bryan Danielson away from WWE after Tygate happened. Now, basically what happened here, this is when the Nexus first, came in on the Raw, and they had all the, Season 1 NXT rookies and tore the whole area up. The ringside area, just everything got torn. They beat up everybody, and Daniel Bryan choked out Justin Roberts with his own tie. So he got fired. He was fired. Yeah. So Heyman would have tried to steal him and build him up as an unstoppable submission machine for an eventual match with Kurt Angle. Yes. because of Dixie Carter's unbelievable stupid loyalty to people like Hogan and Vince Russo, we did not get Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson versus Kurt Angle. Fuck you, Dixie Carter. Now, how did Dixie Carter come up with Hardcore Justice little, ECW reunion show number 6,924? Well, you see, she did a focus group to ask a hand-picked group of fans of what they want to see in wrestling. Most of them said they missed the days of ECW. This focus group was held in Philadelphia, the home of ECW. Yeah, that's like going to Texas and asking if they don't like Barack Obama. That's like going up to Jim Cornette and asking if he doesn't like Vince Russo. Yeah. So, Tommy Dreamer's in the crowd for a couple weeks, and he actually, Slammiversary, yada yada yada. He, more ECW originals showed up. There was a brawl between them and the TNA guys, and Dixie Carter came out and said, I invited him. It was later explained, Dreamer said he called the stable, came out and said would call the stable, that the stable was called EV 2.0, although it was he never really bothered to explain what that meant. It was later explained that the EV stood for extreme violence, and the 2.0 was used because the word dub is slang for two, so eventually people were supposed to chant EV dub, so that sounded like they were chanting ECW. Very few fans caught on to the joke. The actual pay-per-view involved the fact that the arena was lit with a very weird blue lighting, aiming to make the arena ECW-ized. It didn't work. Taz opened up the show to get the crowd fired up. He later admitted in an interview that he wants everybody to move on from ECW, and that he was not in favor of another ECW reunion. And I agree with that. There's no point. At this point, these ECW reunion shows ran their course. It's just, you're not going to be able to, like, One Night Stand, WWE won One Night Stand 2005, and then I think Shane Douglas put one on, Hardcore Homecoming, that were actually really good. And then at that point, it's like, why? You're just... there's literally no point to him now. There really isn't. Now, since WWE owned the majority of the ECW trademarks, they had to rename many of the performers, and they also couldn't say the actual brand ECW. You had Skinny-ish Balls Mahoney, Bald Sabu, and an aging bleach blonde Raven and these guys were among the wrestlers who competed. Balls Mahoney was renamed Cajones. Cajones and Brother Ray had a lightsaber duel in the middle of the match. Why? Because... fuck it. Because who cares? Many of the originals paid tribute to Joey Styles. Styles responded by ripping TNA every chance he gets. Some of the guys who returned for one night were paid around $250 for their appearance. Even though this pay-per-view sold 3 to 4 times better than the average TNA pay-per-view, and that was because of the ECW guys. That was perfect timing. So, I guess Dixie needed to make sure Hulk Hogan still had more money. Hogan had been trying to get a raise in his fucking pay. Tommy Dreamer and Raven's match caused controversy when Dreamer bled in front of his 2 young kids. Sabu had to replace Jerry Lynn, who was set to face RVD, because Jerry Lynn got hurt. Hardcore Justice is supposed to be the last stand, but the EV 2.0 stable remained with the company for the rest of the year. It even picked up a victory over Fortune at Bound for Glory. And despite this, Fortune remained all-powerful in the following weeks, whereas EV 2.0 quality disappeared throughout the arena. The original pay-per-view card was moved to the Impact after, and was billed as the whole effing show, and it was much better than it received in the pay-per-view, especially for the last match in the Beer Money Motor City Machine Guns Best of 5 series. Yeah. You know, and they love bashing Vince Russo. Lockdown 2007. So the promotional poster for the show featured the tagline, "Live from St. Louis." TNA actually held a show at the Family Arena in St. Charles, Missouri. Chris Sabin won an escape match where the rules said the winner must leave St. Louis. Why? The winner, like, well, first of all, I know you can't do like a loser leaves town, because in this match there's like 5 losers. But the winner leaves town? Don't they all leave town at the end of the show? Again, logic TNA doesn't need it. Former tag partners Chris Harris and James Storm, who had a hell of a build going into this, has a hell of a storyline with this feud. They faced off in a blindfolded cage match. Yeah. Of course, the blindfolds were cloth sacks, and the referees spent most of the match trying to keep them on their heads. Yeah, critics called this the worst match in TNA and wrestling overall in 07. A month later, Postman made up for the shitfest with the Texas Death Match, which critics called it one of TNA's best matches of 2007. Yeah, look that up. Texas Death Match, Chris Harris, James Storm. You won't be disappointed. Team 3D fought LAX in an electrified 6-sided steel cage match. And because the cage wasn't actually electrified, TNA simply turned off the house lights and lit the ring with a light bluish glow. Whenever someone touched the cage, the lights flickered and the wrestlers squirmed as if they'd been tased. None of this stopped TNA from showing close-ups of the wrestlers touching the cage outside of these shock spots, or Hernandez wearing gloves in order to climb the cage. While the crowd fairly screamed "Fire Russo" during this, Dixie later blamed Dutch Mantell for it. Dutch thoroughly denied being involved in this one as well. Of course he did, because he wasn't involved in it. It's because Dixie Carter is a fucking retard. And from Dixie's "You Shoot." Pretty much every time the crowd chants "Fire Russo," I can tell you it wasn't him who wrote that segment. Bullshit, bitch! People can smell Russo's booking from a mile away. You know, because you don't want to blame Vince Russo, because apparently you have a affair with him? I believe you're both married? I'm pretty sure you're seeing each other on the side. And because you love having the people who were responsible for the death of WCW in your company, you blame the one guy who actually knows wrestling won't come up with an idea this stupid. Yeah. Oh, geez, we are at 28 minutes. So, I am going to call it right here. Pegasus out.